Countryside, they're building an English town. Hyde Park is one of a string of UK-themed residential compounds that are popping up around Moscow. For Russians with lots of cash and a crush on Britain. All the houses here have stylish names like Chelsea, Park Lane and Windsor. Yuri Dranga's new home is called Oxford. He's particularly proud of the kitchen. Beefeaters and bus stop queues. Almost makes me feel homesick. Yuri admits he's a big fan of Britain. It's a very stable and a very conservative country, Yuri says. Just the kind of place Russia should be. Although UK-Russia relations have been rather tense in recent years, there's clearly something about the British way of life which attracts people here. But wealthy Russians aren't just copying Britain, they're also buying up Britain. You name it, the Russians have been coming over to buy it. From British football clubs to broadsheets, high street book chains, and last month, the flagship Rolex store in central London.
And I was so much surprised.
The tycoon who did that deal is Grigory Guselnikov. Like many Russian businessmen, he believes doing business in Britain is safer than back home.
Some people I simply love your country. I don't know why, but when my planes start to descend, I feel safe and secure, and I love London. I love the smell of the city, the way of life. I love my every morning jogging in Hyde Park.
But as we've seen, the British way of life is now available to some back in Russia. We found this giant English pub in another gated community near Moscow. The beer may cost £8 a pint, but that hasn't stopped Putin and Medvedev making this place their local.
People who live in this village often were in England, and some of them have houses there. So we think that this place suits for this village.
It's a little Britain for the few Russians who can afford it. Steve Rosenberg, BBC News, Moscow.